What's up YouTube, Dino here from Zephyr War Games, and today I am bringing you my first place updated Dino technically True King profile. So this also involves the brand new Xeno cards. This deck is absolutely insane and definitely do not even sleep on it. It is so powerful, so aggressive, it protects from the Nibiru, plays around the Nibiru, can break boards with UCT. It's absolutely insane. So with all of that out of the way, I'm going to take you through the entire profile, explain what my matchups were and go from there. So obviously my matchups of the weekend, one of them was Dragon Link, one of them was Utopia, which was weirdly interesting because they can just OTK out of nowhere. And then the other ones was one Vanquished Soul and then one Branded. So deck did do incredibly well. Triple Oviraptor, pretty straightforward and simple on that one. Triple Baby Ceratosaurus alongside Double Petite, like this is the perfect ratio for me personally. Some people play 3 and 1, some people play 3 and 3. 3 and 2 is perfect, absolutely perfect for me. I get to the high levels when I want them, stuff like my Meteorus, and then of course my Prankatops and everything else. So Double Meteorus, this is the brand new card, already explained it in the previous profile, but this card is nuts. You just have to remember, unlike I did, you have to remember that if you use this effect, which you technically will do to pop a baby to get another dino from the deck, you are locking yourself into Dragon, Dino, Sea Serpents or Worms for that rest of that turn. 2 UCT, again, I stand by this still being probably the best single main deck boss monster around. The fact that it can destroy to trigger, book a moon, everything, and then clear everything is insane. 2 Archosaur, I kind of want to put this down to 1, but it's one of them ones where if you open up the 1, then the combo doesn't work. So you kind of need to be playing 2. 1 Frostosaurus, run Prankatops. You can side out the Prankatops you want, but I still think it's a really kind of cool card to summon out the deck, because not only does it set you up a form of interruption to deal with floodgates or anything, but it's also a great one going second. Like if your opponent tries to flip a Tikaboo on you, you can just go, cool, special summon down a Prankatops, and then continue to make your plays, because then as soon as they flip that Tikaboo, you chain Prankatops, you get rid of it, and you're good to rock and roll, which is exactly what I did against Virtual, keep saying Virtual World, Vanquished Soul. 1 Giant Rex, 1 Sad Misk, and the return of the Bricky Boy is the one Drak Ealol. Now the reason I put this back in here is because we are utilising Denglong. Denglong actually put in a lot of work for me that weekend for the pure fact that it was able to kind of manipulate its level to make it a level 9 tuner. And then all I needed was a level 1 non-tuner, which was, funny enough, Archosaur. So once Archosaur had done its job, I was able to go, okay, cool. The idea is that off your True King, something like Lithosagam, or even off of Xeno, like you're popping so many dinos or so many babies to then spawn more dinos to the board, that it's very easy to actually summon out the Archosaur off of a baby and use Mist to get to the Yugioh. And if you can't get to that one, you do it the other way around. Like you've got so many different ways to get to it, and then that unlocks you a Denglong, and what Denglong ultimately gives you is it gives you the ability to get another level 10 on the board, because if you do the combo correctly or the play correctly, you end up with 2 level 10s, which is going to be Baron and then your Chenying. And then off the back of that as well, you can continue to push. The last dino is the one Dogoran. Again, it's just one of them ones where I think having a main deck direct route to a Kaiju is really, really powerful and a really good option that can cause your opponent a lot of issues. So definitely puts in, a lot of work, which is why we are playing it at 1 in the main. Then for the True Kings, I've still got the triple Lithosagam with 1 Agamazoo now. The reason I put the Agamazoo in here is because of Drak Ealol, we've got Ash Blossoms that's also a target as well. Plus it can help you recycle a Lithosagam from the graveyard. I have considered actually cutting down the Litho to 2 in order to balance it back out, which is highly possible. So I'm just kind of working around with the ratios on that one and deciding which route I want to take. And then I'll probably maybe won't do another update because it'll be such a minor change. But yeah, it's very easy. It's a 44 card deck at the moment, so very easy to take out one of these to keep the Agamazoo as it is. But opening up like 1 Lithosagam, you want to see it early. Opening that up with the ability of popping at least 1 baby, it's just going to unlock so much for you. It's crazy. So yeah, it puts in a huge amount of work. Then, of course, we've got triple Ash Blossom. Not to mention, if you hit 2 else with it, you get to look at your opponent's extra deck. So, you know. Triple Ash Blossom, and then I have got the 1 Bian, the 1 Chewin, and the 1 Pillars. Now, you can normally get rid of these if you want, but the way that I kind of saw it was, 9 times out of 10, I'm not actually leaving Denglong on the board. I'm summoning out Denglong, I'm sending and keep in mind, if you've got Agamazoo, and if you're able to, or if you've got a Lithosagam and you pop the Agamazoo, you can actually add a Lithosagam back from the graveyard. So you can Foolish Burial with this. The idea is that off of Denglong, you adapt its level to a level 9. It's never staying on the board for pillars. You're going to be syncing it off. So when you sync it off, you need to get a monster from the deck. And that's where your Bian comes in. Not to mention as well, you can adapt the level to this become a level 1 tuner. Should you want to, it's like, should you already have like Lithosagam on the board, rather than going around the loop, you can actually just send the Chirin to the graveyard and then sync off the Denglong as a level 1 tuner with the Lithosagam. That makes your 1 level 10, and then you're still going to get the Bian from the deck. And the reason you get the Bian from the deck is not only is it utilized as part of pillar fodder, but the idea is you can also get you can also go through the Herald play. So you're either syncing off the Denglong and getting into a level 10 play, or you're leaving the Denglong on the board, you're getting rid of it with pillars, and you're floating into a Bian and a Chirin. So you're getting best of both worlds, and it just utilizes the engine. You can cut the engine down to the base minimum of just pillars, and you leave Denglong on the board for that. Or if you know you're going to be getting rid of Denglong, you can use Denglong plus a Chirin or any kind of Yangzing monster you want. Moving on to spells, of course, Triple Dino. This card like dropped in the UK, and I was like, cool, I'm picking it up now. I'm not waiting on that. So I picked up my playset. I got like all of the new cards, including the reprints, for like 85 quid, and then a little bit of discount as well because I got it from tier 0. So yeah, that was just very cheap and easy to pick up. But now these have gone back up to like, I think the lowest I've seen these go for is like 28 quid a copy. But it's just such a good card that if you're able to pick it up, I definitely would, especially if you are a Dino fan. It just takes the deck to a whole new level. And then triple Fossil Dig, consistency, double Lost World, 1 Diagram, 1 Terraforming, double Pill, and double Small World. You can very easily put Prosperity in here if you want to, and it probably should be in here. I just couldn't bring myself to push this to a 47 card deck. I think that would have been a little bit too much. But I still need to figure out where I'm going to put Prosperity in, and when I do, I will put an update at some point as well. But Small World works just as well because it can bridge with, not only can it bridge with the True Kings if you open up multiple, it can bridge with your Dinos, it can bridge with your hand traps, it can get you pretty much anything and everything that you may or may not need. Moving on to the extra deck, we'll go through the links first. So we're going defensively down, so we've got Appaloosa, Unicorn, Phoenix, Cerberus, all pretty straightforward on that one. Cross Sheep with a Pentastag, Gardener, and a Linkaribo. And then we go into the Giant Zowler, you know, insane boss monster. If you want more in-depth information about these cards, then check out the previous Dino profile I did. But this is just your insane boss monster that keeps floating off of the back of a UCT. Abyss Dweller, you can cut this out if you want to. It's just one of them ones where if you're in the right matchup, putting an Abyss Dweller on your opponent, you can pretty much make them skip an entire turn. Lagia, Dolka, Badon, Chengying, Herald, and Delong. So, or Delong? Denglong. So, all pretty straightforward and simple. These are the most recent changes to the extra deck. I took out something like Borrowload, and I took out the entire scrap engine because someone made a very valid comment. They were like, well, you know, when you're making the scrap plays, you're pretty much just pushing for a win more at that point. Like, you've already got the win. By the time you do the scrap combo, you should already have Pill, you should have everything you need. So you're just going for, it does give you a different option, but it does give you more of a direct route. The only difference with not using the scrap engine is it's a little bit more difficult to get a non-Dino to the grave, but that's where Denglong comes into play. So where you would usually go through scrap, Denglong actually does the job for you. And that's it for the profile. Very short, sweet, simple, to the point. Just wanted to show off the new card. Well, I say the new cards, the return of Denglong, and basically going back to how this deck kind of was back in the day, which was like True Kings, True King Dinos, just because of the fact the True Kings pop the babies, and the babies then spawn out the Dinos and stuff like Oviraptors and Miskis and Dracalos. Like I said, it was kind of cool to dust him off and be like, all right, let's see how you can help me utilize Denglong's return and everything else in between. But I still really enjoy this deck. This is one of the contenders that I'm considering taking to Euros. I think the deck can do very, very well. I love the fact that it can be flexible for going first or going second. So it's definitely something I'm going to be looking into and seeing what I can do going forward. And I will keep changing and tweaking and seeing how I can improve and go from there. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, by all means, please put them in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to answer them for you. But for now, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.